All right, so somebody type in the chat, how many breaths should we do between 5 and 10? Whoever gets there first wins. 7. All right. You're gonna go ahead and put on your mindful posture, shoulders back and down. I've got some mindful music on. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but just, you know, imagine it's there if you can't hear it very well. Remember, this is your inhale and this is your exhale. So we're gonna do 7 breaths. Make sure you've got room to breathe. Again, shoulders back and down. You're gonna take 7 of the deepest breaths you've taken all day. Here we go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well done. I want you to stay in that stillness. We're gonna just spend 30 seconds trying to be completely and totally still, and the only movement we're gonna make involves our breathing. I have to sneeze, excuse me. Those allergies are killing me. So we're going to spend 30 seconds trying to be as still as possible. The only thing that you're allowed to move is you're allowed to blink, and you're allowed to have breathing involved movements, but try to see if you can do 30 seconds without any other movement. I'm gonna go ahead and put my timer on. 30 seconds of total stillness starting now. And time. Awesome. You can shake that out if that was a lot to be still. It is for me sometimes. Awesome. Next thing we're going to do is, if you're able and you've got space, we're going to do some little bit of yoga. So we're going to start off in our mountain pose. I'm trying to back up where you can see me. And if you can't hear me, just let me know in the chat and I'll try to speak up. Mountain pose is where you've got your feet directly below your hips. You've got your weight distributed across all 4 corners of your feet. Your shoulders are back and down. Your hands are resting to the side. It's a nice, strong pose. Your knees are not locked. There's a little bit of softness there. Imagine someone's pulling a string up through your spine, out of the top of your head. And we're just going to stand in this. It should feel a little uncomfortable because if you're like me, our posture is not great. And so it can feel weird to actually stand with good posture. Adjustments are okay. And just stand here for a second. Take 2 of those same type Hoberman Sphere breaths, breathing in and out. One more time, breathing in and out. And now we're going to do our roots pose, which is where we're going to stand with our feet same as they are. And we're just going to kind of circle around, keeping our feet still, but our whole body moving in a circle. This is a great thing for finding your center of balance. And it shouldn't just be like your legs going. It should be your whole body is moving like a tree in the wind. And if you have to catch yourself balance-wise, that's okay. Make that circle just a little bit smaller. And just a little bit smaller. Circle so small, we can't even tell that you're moving. You're honing in on your center there. And then once you think you found it, you can stop when you're perfectly centered. Awesome. Next, we're gonna do our star pose. If you've got space, you're gonna step out wide. You're gonna bring your arms out wide as well. So you're kind of making a star shape with your body. This is a great one. It's like a good power move. So it can boost confidence for us because it means we're taking up space. We're telling our body, hey, I feel safe enough to take up space. When we do poses like this, or when we make ourselves small, it's usually because we're feeling a little bit intimidated. And in the animal kingdom, when animals are taking up space, it means that they feel like they own the place, that they've got the power and the bravado. So we're gonna do that. Nice star shape, big and wide. We're gonna adapt it with thumbs up and just pulse them back. It's a nice little shoulder stretch. Thumbs down and pulse it. And great. Get that star shape. Just stretch your fingers out too. Now we're gonna go down to one side. One hand is straight up in the air. The other hand is resting on your shin. And if you want, you can look up at your hand that's in the air. It's a nice little spinal twist. I'm just gonna hold that. Check your breathing right now. If your breathing is a little bit shallow, let's make that nice and deep again. Breathing in and out. Come back up to center. Get some blood back in those arms. And always with yoga, we do the same thing on the other side. My hip just popped because I'm old. You can look up at that hand again, or you can look straight out, whatever feels right to you. Should feel that right here. So at least that's where I feel it. Nice side stretch. And coming back up to center, float your hands down. Let's get some blood back in our arms. Awesome. Last thing we're gonna do, now that you've got some blood back in your arms, we're gonna do our mountain pose again. So find that nice posture, strong back, soft front, mountain pose. One more stretch, bringing our arms straight up over our head. Shoulders are locked in place. They're not up by your ears. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend backwards. Just hold that one for a second. See how far you can bend, obviously without hurting yourself. And take 2 of those same deep breaths. And float those hands down. Awesome. Go ahead and have a seat. We're going to do one more just mindfulness exercise. So we're done with the physical movement part. We're going to do our changing the channels in our brain part, okay? So I want you to find a nice comfortable seat. You could even lay, that's fine. Making room to breathe. In through our nose and out through our mouths. Awesome. You can flutter your eyes closed if you'd like, or you can simply gaze downward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a scenario that I want you to think about. This is a great exercise for changing the channel in our brain. We can sometimes ruminate, which means we can like think on things over and over again. It's not very healthy to do that, especially if it's negative. By learning to change the channel in your brain, you can become better at shifting your attention away from negative things and back into something more positive or back into the present moment. So the first thing I want you to do, you're just going to think about the things that I tell you to think about. If you get distracted, try it. If you notice it, just bring yourself back to what you're challenged to think about at that time. So first thing I want you just to notice the sounds in the room around you. Now expand that a little wider. I want you to think about the sounds going on outside of the room you're in, maybe in your house or your apartment. Now I want you to imagine that you're holding a mug of your favorite hot drink. I want you to take a deep breath of it. and smell its flavor. And imagine what it might taste like. Now I want you to imagine, we're going to change the channel, that you have a tiny baby bunny in your lap and it's going to sleep. You have to sit very still. I want you to imagine that your hand just strokes that little baby bunny and what it might feel like, the softness of its fur. Now we're going to change the channel. I want you to imagine that you're jumping off of a diving board and submerging into the deep end of the pool. And it's very cold. And what that feels like as your body hits that really cold water. And then imagine that you've come up to the surface. You take that deep breath. Because you've been underwater. Now I want you to imagine the smell of freshly cut grass. I want you to imagine the sensation of being hugged by someone you care about very much. Picture that person's face. And picture a hug from them. And lastly, I want you to change your channel and imagine that you're with someone who makes you laugh. And they just said something really funny. And how that makes you feel and where you feel that in your body, where you feel that joy and that laughter inside of you. I know for me, when I laugh so hard, it hurts my face. And so when I think about that, I think about my face hurting because when I laugh so hard, it makes me hurt my face and cry, but like in the best ways. Awesome. We're going to take 3 more deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouths. Going to go ahead and breathe in. Holding at the top of the breath. And breathing out. Breathing in again. Holding at the top of the breath. And breathing out. Last one, the deepest one you've taken all day, breathing in. Holding. And breathing out. And when you're ready, if you had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes. You can unmute yourself. You can turn your camera back on. And we'll just kind of hang out until the art activity happens. Thank you so much for meditating with me. I know that that is a little bit different than what we're used to, but I appreciate you guys logging on and giving it a shot. We're going to do this 3 times a week, so I'm looking forward to it.